if he has a push, so we're still working on it. So when he has his push is going that way, you see. But through a particular organization, he can push, and I'm aiming his push down on the ground, you see. So just to show you, we'll do it from the grips. Okay, so if I am up here and he's gonna push me over, but there's so many joints and tissues and fluids in my body that I can reorganize myself in such a way, go ahead, that his energy is just pushing me down on the ground. So he's going to push really hard, and he's just making my back foot go deeper and deeper into the mat, not making it pull over my back foot. So this is why he's pushing. If he lets go really fast, this is why I don't go flying forward, because I'm not doing this where if he lets go, then I'm going to fall forward. It's also why as he goes to push, and he's just pushing that one single path, that I don't need my front leg. He can't push that over because there's no energy going over that way. It's just going down to the ground. He's pushing really hard. It's the same thing, okay? And so the same thing happens on this crazy chair of ours. Okay, so as he goes to push, whoa, okay? I have to be able, I feel that energy, and I have to be able to make it go into the ground. I'm making it go into the ground. Same thing through the chair's legs, and then you can do your thing. But if I don't do that, go and I push you, whoa, okay, not good. So we're gonna do the same drill, and he's pushing, and I have to be able to aim it off the chair legs. Never aiming it back, okay? So he's doing his thing. I'm feeling the superior mass of the earth. And again, don't worry, okay? So again, go ahead and do your energy. I'm not doing this. You see how I'm starting to come up? I'm not doing that. I have to aim it. We're down, he's pushing, and we're just down. He's going down the same way that I was on one leg. I'm just aiming into the legs of the chairs. That's all I'm doing. Okay? So often, like, I go and I want to start to tilt him. You have two active hands, do you see? You have two yang hands. Or you just move out of the way, you see? Then you do like yang hand here. So as I'm going, it's not that I'm moving out of the way and he's falling. I am moving him in that adhesion. So it's not that he's pushing, I get out of the way and I get this little 1 to 2 inch thing, okay? This adhesion is what's making him go. So always Kokyu is easier to get first because it's more consistent with our fear or threat cycle, meaning because I can displace him. But your Kokyu is going to be much more viable if it's not slippery. So you see, otherwise you have to find the exact right angle or some sort of 90 degree, 45 degree angle where you can push into it. But you don't need that. You can have a Kokyu angle. You can have one going sideways, going this way, as long as you have the friction. So I do want this no matter how great my Kokyu projections are. But for Kazushi, you definitely want to keep this stuck. I don't want my Kazushi to be an external deviation. And that's hard to do because it'll sometimes look like I don't need to have a stuck hand. I could just tilt him with external deviation. So the apparent substitution is what's the problem. Okay, it's hard to have a apparent substitution for Kokyu. Like everyone can recognize that's not it. But it's harder to go like, well, I did have, you don't really have it, you're all slippery over here, okay? So as you're doing it, it's two adhesions. Just one is to separate us, and one is to adhere us, okay? So this is not slippery, and this is not getting out of the way. They're both moving. They're both adhering. Both adhering. Both adhering. Okay? Both adhering. So it's easy to overshoot it, you see? But I have to find that relationship, you see? And then it's easy to ignore that one. Do you see that? But I don't ignore it. So I use both to do that. You're going, okay, I'm going to do that. No, do this. You see? And then as you do that, as you're doing this hand, using this as an adhesion to pull, this is what we end up doing. See, it goes dead. But no, use the two hands to turn. Same thing. It's easy to go, I'm going to take this one. No, just turn this. Okay, so pay attention to what you're doing with the other hand once you think you have his balance and you're going to take it. Pay attention to what you're doing with this hand. Don't let it go dead. It is still pulling. So when I'm here like this, yeah, you see, okay, there's my Kokyu. But look, you could have done it all on that hand, which means that hand could be a redundant system to the Kazushi. Both hands have the same feeling. And then be cognizant that you're slipping, okay? There's still a friction in the midst of Kokyu.